Good afternoon, everybody. And for our story today, we've got the lonely giraffe. The jungle was really quite a friendly bunch. Every day the cockatoos were first to shake their feathers and wake the other animals up. The elephants would trumpet "Good morning" and the snakes would hiss "Hello." Even the grumpy lion managed a friendly growl. All the animals met near the river for breakfast every morning to discuss the jungle news. Everyone took their turn to speak, but no one listened to Giraffe. The giraffe was just too tall, and by the time he had spread his legs and lowered his head, the ground animals had gone and lost interest. So the giraffe would lift his long neck and wander off. He spent all day with his head in the trees, eating the sweetest leaves. He didn't realise that the birds and the monkeys that lived in the trees were frightened of his large head and suddenly appeared in the treetops, or that the small animals on the ground ran away because they were scared of being trodden on. He is quite tall, isn't he? In the end, the lonely giraffe didn't bother trying to speak to anyone. He moved from tree to tree, munching on the leaves, and the jungle creatures went on avoiding him. That was how it went for the whole of the long, dry summer. I think he probably will be very lonely, won't he? When the rainy season came, the large animals headed for high ground. The small creatures sheltered in the bushes near the river, and the monkey took cover in the trees. The rain poured down for days. There's the crocodile. There's the monkeys and the other animals. "Don't worry," said the alligator. "We'll carry you to safety in my big wide jaws." But the animals didn't trust him. As the river rose, the jungle creatures became more and more frightened. They huddled together beneath the bushes, and no one heard the distant roar until the leopard pricked up his ears. But nobody could think what it was. I wonder what that really loud noise could be. The giraffe looked over the heads of the other animals on the ground. His eyes were big and they widened like saucers, and he slowly bent his spotted neck until the worried creatures could hear him. There he is, look. He looks a bit scared, doesn't he? "The river is flooding," said the giraffe in a surprisingly squeaky voice. "A wall of water is racing down the valley. What can we do?" asked the gazelle. "It's too late to run away." "We'll all be drowned," said the mouse. "Or the alligator will eat us," hissed the snake. "Climb up a tree," called the monkey from the treetops. "The river won't reach the high branches." "Hurry," squawked the cockatoo. "I can see the water coming." The jungle animals raced to the trees, but some of them couldn't climb up the slippery trunks. Their hooves and tails were not made for climbing. Oh dear, look, they can't get up there. The roaring water rushed closer and the animals shivered with fright. But the giraffe had an idea. He bent his knees and spoke to the animals. "Climb on my back," he squeaked in a high voice. "The water is almost here." The river was lapping around the creatures, and the monkey jumped up the giraffe's neck and called to the others. The hairy warthog was next to carefully climb on, and one by one he helped each of the animals to safety. You see the big water? Then the giraffe straightened his knees as the water flooded the jungle. He stretched up his long neck, and the last few animals hurried onto the branches, helped by the chattering monkeys. The water washed around the giraffe's strong legs and sprayed the animals in the trees. Then the river rushed on. The water slowly sank back, and the ground and the sun came out from behind the clouds. The giraffe poked his head up into the high branches, and the animal slid down his back to the damp earth. From that day on, Giraffe was never lonely again. The jungle animals would wait for the giraffe to lower his head and join in the conversation. The birds and the monkeys in the trees were no longer afraid of the giant's big head, and the cockadoos would find the sweetest leaves for the brave giraffe. The elephants would trumpet good morning, and the snakes would hiss hello, and the grumpy lion would pretend to growl before falling asleep in the sunshine. They're all friends now, aren't they? And that's the end of the story. And this is one of my niece's stories, my niece Daisy, and she's lent me this book to read to you all, so I hope you enjoyed it. Bye!